So this video is going to be my book unhaul video, where I talk about all the books that I'm going to get rid of, that I don't want anymore, that I either read and didn't like and I'm going to give them to someone else, or books that I've just had for a really long time that I know I will never read. So actually, that's pretty much it. So let's just jump right into it. Let's start out with a batch of classics that I know that I'm never going to read. In fact, for some of these books, I have no idea what they even are. I probably just found them at like a local used bookstore or thrift store, and I was like, maybe I'll read it one day. Not. But yeah, here's, just a bunch of old classic books, right? All Quiet on the Western Front. I think I might have read this in high school. I have no interest in reading it. Machiavelli, or The Prince by Machiavelli. I don't know. A Portrait of the Artist as a Young Man by James Joyce. I have zero interest in this. Babbitt by Sinclair Lewis. I literally couldn't tell you a thing about this book. I don't know. The Rivières by William Faulkner. No. And then I have The Floating Admiral by Agatha Christie. I'm getting rid of this one because I found a much better, more appealing cover for this book, so I don't need 2 copies, so I'm getting rid of it. I've also got a couple hardcovers that I'm going to get rid of. I don't even like hardcovers to begin with, but whatever. Where the Crawdads Sing, I've heard good things about it. I've heard bad things about it, but overall, it's not really a story that I'm too interested in, so gonna get rid of it. And then I have Lady in the Lake. It's another one of those books that I have no idea what it's about. Had it for a while, and I don't want to read it, so I'm going to get rid of it. A couple more books that I've had for a really long time that I know I'm never going to read, even though I keep telling myself, oh, I'll read it one day. You're not going to, Jake. You're not going to read these books. Confederacy of Dunces. I know it's supposed to be a really funny book, but honestly, if I want to laugh just for the sake of laughing, I'll just watch one of my favorite shows, Family Guy, Rick and Morty. But yeah, I have zero interest, so chucking that out. And then I have The Magicians, and again, I've heard mixed things about this book, but if I'm going to read a fantasy book, I kind of want it to be in a foreign land or like a made-up land. I think this is supposed to be more, it takes place on Earth, and I'm not interested, so getting rid of it. I've also had this book for a long time, The Andromeda Evolution, not by Michael Crichton, but by whoever the hell this is. This was written well after Michael Crichton's death, and it's the sequel to one of his very first published novels, The Andromeda Strain. And initially I was pretty intrigued, but basically Michael Crichton has nothing to do with this book, besides having written the first book. And I've had it for a while, and I was like, maybe I'll get to it one day. I just have no interest in it anymore, so chucking it out the window. Not literally. I'm going to take it to a bookseller and hopefully get money for it in exchange. I'm not literally chucking it out the window. Then I have The Last Mrs. Parrish, which I attempted to read, unlike some of these books. I got like 50 pages into it, and the dialogue was horrendous. My God. If that's how the author thinks that people talk, I don't know. I mean, these are like rich people in the story. Maybe that's how rich people talk. I don't know. I'm not rich. But I just, and the other thing, it was just really boring. Like, I heard this book has a really good twist. A twist on what? Nothing was happening. Another book that I didn't like too much is Breach of Peace by Daniel Green, a fantasy novella that surprisingly has very few fantasy elements. I'm sure someone else will enjoy it much more than I did. Hopefully they'll pick it up and, enjoy it. And I won't be continuing to read Daniel's stuff because this is his debut and he definitely has a lot of room for growth and improvement. So, yeah, just this one didn't really do it for me. I also recently read The Goblin Emperor. It was pretty good, but I don't really ever see myself reading this book ever again. I did really like the main character, but just for me, it was really slow. Very politically driven, which of course makes sense for the slow pace. But basically, like the first 250 pages, nothing happens, and I just don't think I'm ever going to read it again. The next book I'm getting rid of is The Perfect Child, and I actually did enjoy this book. I gave it 4 stars, and it was pretty good. The reason I'm getting rid of it is because I don't really feel the need to ever read it again because it's very similar to one of my all-time favorite horror books, Baby Teeth. They're both about sociopathic little girls messing with their moms, and this one is just better in my opinion. It's got a little bit more edge to it, and I don't know, it's just a lot better. So I don't really think I'll be needing this book too much. Hopefully someone will, read it and love it more than I did. Oh, I'm still filming. And the last book I'm going to get rid of is The Chain, which actually I've really enjoyed the first, I don't know, like 2/3 of this book. It was basically exactly what I wanted it to be. But the last chunk of the book, a little underwhelming. And I'll be honest, even though I did really enjoy the book, it's not a book that I'll ever need to read again. So, yeah, I'm going to get rid of it. Alright, that was my book Unhaul. All the books that I'm going to get rid of by either turning them into a used bookstore or donating them. Either way, I don't want them in my life anymore. Get out of here. Please let me know down in the comments if you've read any of these books, whether you loved them, hate them, or DNF'd them like I did in some cases. Either way, let me know down in the comments below. And as always, if you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to my channel. Thank you so much for watching and have a terrific day.